Welcome to IAH 241E, Creativity, Innovation, and Communication. Most college classes on creativity have to do with studying and analyzing creativity, often from a cognitive, a psychological, even a neurosciences perspective. This isn't a class about the science of creativity. In this class, we're going to be engaged in acts of creativity. We're not going to be creative for creativity's sake. Don't get me wrong, that's just fine. But in this class, we're going to be creative for specific purposes, specific contexts, and specific audiences. We're going to look at examples of creativity, examples of creatives, and examples of the tools and resources that we can use to enhance our creative toolkits. In this video, I want to provide a brief introduction to me and a quick overview of class. I'm Danielle Nicole DeVoss, and I'm a professor here at Michigan State University. I teach undergraduate and graduate classes in our professional writing program. I also teach for NYU in one of their Masters of Science programs. I also run a creativity and innovation incubator at MSU called the Creativity Exploratory. We have 2 brainstorming and conference rooms. We have a media lab. We also have a makerspace, which we call our Fab Lab, where we have a button press, a plotter printer, a MakerBot, a digital sewing machine, and a laser cutter. The creativity is for students to use, and students use the space for meetings. We also host workshops with creative professionals, workshops on technology like this audio production workshop, workshops on typography and creativity, on zine production, on cooking, creativity, and culture, and more. One of our projects I'm really proud of is our 98 Miles of Creativity website. You guys might know that MSU Central Campus has 98 miles of sidewalks. For this project, we mapped campus creativity hotspots, places where you could see, do, learn, or make. So that's a bit about me, and I hope we get to know each other better throughout this semester. This class is structured around 6 major creativity projects. For each, we're going to be doing some looking, watching, researching, and exploring. And then we're going to do some inventing, creating, innovating, and communicating. For the 7th project, the final project, we're going to do some reflecting and look back on the tools and tips and strategies we learned about during the course of this semester. I want everyone to leave this class with a set of creativity, innovation, and communication tools that we can take and apply to other aspects of our lives. Life is really a matter of hopping from one creative issue or creative problem to the next. Sometimes those problems are tiny things we deal with in our personal lives. Others are massive considerations and decisions that we deal with in our work lives or our civic lives. Regardless of the challenges, the issues, and the questions you face, you will leave this class with a set of tools to put to use in different contexts. Throughout the class, I'm going to emphasize communication. You can have the most creative, innovative idea in the world, but if you can't effectively communicate it to a specific audience in a particular context, using the appropriate media, that idea isn't going to go very far. I think creativity and communication go hand in hand. So along with the creativity and innovation tools you'll leave class with, you should leave class with a stronger communication and writing skill set. So in class, we're going to create basic web pages, short digital videos. You guys are going to write formal proposals. You're going to work to create other types of media communications and compositions. We'll be making, writing, remixing, linking, composing, designing, and more. But that said, you don't have to have a strong technology skill set for this class. For each assignment, I'm going to introduce some different tools and resources that you can draw upon to complete the work for class. You do need to have a high-speed internet connection. You'll probably need a camera, but if you have a smartphone, your smartphone will do just fine. And you will have to have an open mind and a willingness to play, explore, and create. Head to D2L and log in with your MSU Net ID and password. You should now see IAH 241E on your list of D2L courses. If you go into our course site, you'll see right at the top a folder that includes the link to this video and, more importantly, our class syllabus. Please read it right away and read it carefully. Let me know if you have any questions. The syllabus includes an overview of all the major projects and information about grades, along with information about how best to contact me. If we go back to the top level of our course site, you'll see folders for each of our 7 weeks of class. Each week, you'll find an overview video for the week, a creativity reading or 2 or 3, a creativity case or cases, and some creativity sparks. You'll also find that week's assignment along with a Dropbox where you'll submit your work when you've completed it. And I'll also be using D2L to post responses to your work and your project grades. Know that you won't be able to jump ahead in class because I'll be building and posting videos and content as we move along. And one other really important thing to consider is that sometimes D2L can't handle YouTube videos well. So I've included the actual URLs here, so if you have to, you can copy and paste the URL into a new browser window. One important thing I want to note about the projects right up front is this. Projects that get an A are those that show me you've read and interacted with the week's materials. You might quote from the readings or include an example from one of our creativity cases. Projects that get a C or a D are those that provide no evidence whatsoever that you've been keeping up with the class readings and paying attention to the class creativity cases and sparks and other materials. We'll talk a lot more about each project as we start working on it, and I'll share some examples with you along with how I'm going to be reviewing and grading your work. I want to say one last thing about class, and it's something that I mentioned on the class syllabus. I encourage you each to approach this class as you would a face-to-face class, especially if you haven't taken an online class before. What I mean by this is that you should set aside class time every week and use that time to work on class-related readings, activities, projects, and more. For instance, on my planner, I've crossed off 8 until noon on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays to work on class materials. You might need less time. You might need a little bit more time. It's up to you. But keeping a schedule and protecting your time and devoting enough time for class is going to be crucial. We're going to move really quick, and there's not any space to fall behind this semester. I'll be keeping in touch with you regularly on email and by video and on D2L, and don't be shy. Don't hesitate to email me or call me or contact me some other way if you have any questions at any point in time in class. Welcome to 241E.